What's going on? Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the 411 podcast. It's Monday, September 19th. What's going on, Miss Bethany? How are you doing out there? All the way from California. I want to say thank you so much for joining in. If you're out there on Facebook, I want to say what's up. Thank you for the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, share. Tag friends, let them know what's going on inside the 411. You never know what you're going to get. Instagram family, I see Bethany out there. Twitter, check me out on YouTube at Laren Gaines. You can get small clips of the show on TikTok and Daily Motion as well. Special shout out to small community out there on Twitch. I want to say thank you so much. Again, please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag your friends, let them know what's going on. Welcome on in. So we got a very special guest tonight. You're going to get some wisdom. You're going to get some knowledge. And hopefully by the end of the day, you get some understanding that you'll be able to take and move on into tomorrow and forward with everything else that you got going on. Prophet Poole is coming in the building tonight. So excited to speak to him and see what type of knowledge and wisdom he's going to give us tonight. Song of the day. This hit me right at the last minute. Soldier of Love, Sade. So when I was thinking about Soldier of Love, I was like, when you have so much love in your heart, you know, you're a soldier, you've been fighting, you've been through some things in life. When you have so much love, at the end of the day, there really has nothing else to fear because love conquers all. So if anything, if you want to be a soldier, you want to be a fighter, you want to be a rider, just make sure you're fighting and you're riding for the right thing. And today I can say, you know what? After all of the things that I've been through, all of the things that you've been through, you know, if you're anything like me, you're a soldier of love, meaning that you're just going to come out on top because you realize that the negative things that happen to you in life, it has happened to you for a reason. Therefore, there is no reason for no retaliation. There's no reason for hatred. You turn that thing around and you do something positive because you know that at the end of the day, what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. What you put out there is what you get. So today, I'm riding on Team Love. Soldier of Love, Sade, released in 2010 off of the album Soldier of Love. So I know it's been a minute, but I want to say thank you so much to everybody out there that supports the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines. My last guest, Regina Williams, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. Y'all, please go ahead and watch that replay. It's like that night versus tonight. We're going to get some more knowledge. We're going to get some more understanding. And hopefully there's going to be some breakthrough moments. So please like, comment, share, tag your friend, because you never know who can get a message out of the different type of conversation that we have going on here. I want to say thank you so much to Alex Coquito. He's from Puerto Rico, and I want y'all to please keep him, his family, everybody in Puerto Rico in prayer. I know they have some terrible weather going on right now, and my friend is doing all right. So check him out, support his page, Alex Coquito on YouTube. O'Shea Candles. Thank you for coming through and supporting the 411 podcast. Simply Unique LLC. These are all businesses that support Roang Music, all the way from South Korea. Ashero Clothing, My Survivor Voice podcast. Danny, thank you so much for the love and support. Custom Creations by Killer. Again, y'all can check these people out on Instagram. A lot of them have Facebook pages as well. Jason T. Davis from California. Shanti Refuge from Shanti Refuge Journals. She has 26 journals. And of course, Miss Bethany Trent, thank you so much for supporting. She's from California. I've had an opportunity to meet her as well. So welcome into the 411. Now we're going to go ahead and rewind this thing. We're going to have some great conversations tonight. I'm going to just tell y'all that. And I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to getting some understanding. Looking for those, I hate to say it because it's been embedded in me, but I'm bringing it out. I'm waiting for those aha moments. It could come through tonight. So speaking of which, how often does the spirit of doubt come to visit you? So Regina, when she was on the other night, she said it comes every day. It comes often. And that's reality for some of us. It could be something simple. It doesn't have to be anything, over the top. Sometimes, you might not feel that you were the best at doing simple things. So therefore, that spirit of doubt comes and visits you. Not a problem. But what do you do with it when it comes? How do you get past it? That's something that I focus on today. How do I get past this moment? How do I stop this broken record from being played over and over and over again because we heard these same songs before? What do we do to stop it immediately? If it comes in, that's cool because it happens. We can't control things. But we want to go ahead and move that out real quick. Embrace the unknown. These are some of the things that I wrote down. Be ready for the challenge, regardless. It's gonna come. You're gonna have to get over it one way or the other. This is life. You're living it. So embrace it and get through it the best way you know how to. And then remember at the end of the day that no weapon formed against it's not gonna prosper. So it's all good. This is all life lessons. When that spirit of doubt comes, what do you do to get past it? Speaking of which, let's talk about criticism. Because sometimes when you try to move past things, you try to do something new, you try to take on, a new lease on life. You try to just, maybe you want to be more positive. Maybe you want to eat a little healthier. Maybe you want to do something a little bit different. But then people around you, they notice that you're doing something different and maybe they don't want you to. So therefore, criticism comes in. And remember, I talked about you living in your own world. Everything that I got going on here, this might not be for you. And I'm okay with that. This is my world. Just like what you got going on in your world, some things might not work for me. So you do things that cater and that works for you. This is your world. This is your life. Don't let anybody else, put a damper on what you got going on in your world, cloud your world. So when criticism attacks your world, how do you deal with that? Because it's going to happen as you try to level up, as you try to do something different. You've ever heard people say, oh, who do she think she is? Or, oh, who do he think he is? She thinks she's cute. He thinks he's all that. Somebody told me something that was so funny that whenever somebody says that, you tell them, I am. That's exactly what you think I am. So, okay, I know. It is what it is. When criticism attacks your world, right? How do you deal with it? This is what happens. These are a couple things that I wrote down here. People are just people, right? So you're going to have to deal with it. We have to realize that people are just people, and that's just life. You take the good with the bad. It is what it is. Some people don't know the whole story. They just know bits and pieces of what somebody else told them about you. So instead of them taking the time to get to know you, they only know bits and pieces of it, and that's where their criticism comes in. Because they don't know, they just going by what somebody else said. Remember, make your own judgments about somebody. Don't let somebody else put their own thoughts into your head, and then now you sitting here making things up when you don't even know the whole story about somebody. Trust and believe, I've been there before. People criticize because it makes them feel better about themselves. Remember, they got some insecurities, they got some guilt, they got some ugly inside of themselves, right? So, back in the day, you've heard this before. People, they turn around and they project their ugly off on you. They project it all off on you so it can, in a roundabout way, make them feel better about themselves. You think so, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say this about her, I'm gonna say this about him, and I'm gonna do this and do that, make fun of people, do all types of stuff, post stuff online, you know, makes them feel better about themselves. In the moment, it's a disguise because when they get by themselves, they get tore up and they get all of their insecurities attacking them again, double, triple, quadruple, and it becomes this vicious cycle of what people deal with. We're just talking about when criticism attacks your world. Sometimes you don't have to worry about it when you know the ins and outs behind it. How about this? This is the most important piece here that I love this. Remember, peace be still. When criticism attacks your world, how about it's that people are jealous of the works that God has placed over your life? Sometimes you can't see the things that other people can see. And that's where jealousy and all kinds of weird stuff starts to happen. I'm just speaking the knowledge that I know, that I've grown through, and I'm here. I want to say I'm thankful to be here on the 411 podcast one more time. And I want to thank each and every y'all for joining out here tonight. And we have Prophet Pool coming in the building tonight. So let's check him out and find out what's going on in his world. Thank y'all for joining in.
Hello.
What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Welcome on into the 411 podcast. So, the question I have for you tonight is, where are you calling from?
I am calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. We have Georgia in the house. We've been there quite often this year, speaking to a lot of people. So, that's good. How's the weather out there?
Still hot. Still hot.
I'm taking it that you're not a fan of it.
No, I'm used to it. I'm from here. So I'm pretty much used to it.
Okay, because I love hot weather. I'm here in Jersey. It's it's decent, but the weather is crazy right about now. 1 minute it'll be hot, so you put on a hoodie. It'll be cold, so you put on a hoodie. Then you go out, and then it's hot, and vice versa. And I think people call it that fake fall weather.
Yeah.
That's what
Jersey was nice. Jersey is a nice place.
Jersey is a nice place.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything. I know it's, a lot of people speak about Jersey and New York, but, I've been up there and it has its good parts and bad parts there, but that's everywhere.
I know. I should not speak like that about my state, but if you say so, no. No, I'm just saying I love to be in places like where you're at, Florida, warm places like that, Texas, But
yes.
I have been blessed to be here in New Jersey all these years, so we're here.
Yeah, how long you been there?
All my life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let me tell you, I try to escape every chance I get. What's going on, Mr. Onyx Blade? Thank you so much for joining out there. I appreciate you. So, Prophet Pool, thank you for coming in tonight. I was speaking real quick about dealing with criticism. I was speaking about dealing with doubt. So, I don't know what you have for us tonight. I don't know what you have planned, but I asked the question a couple nights ago, how often does a spirit of doubt visit you? And my guess, she said every day. And I could agree with that. It all depends on what it is. It could be something so simple that you might feel that you can't conquer, you can't get over. So I agree with that sometimes every day. And then with that, once you try to if you've exposed yourself and you've told people, hey, listen, this is something that I am not good at. I have fears, I have doubt about this. Sometimes when you try to overcome it and you do something different, there are people who say, oh, well, who did he think he is? Or who does she think she is? And, where did this come from? And who's this person? There's that criticism. I've had that before. Who does he think he is? Trust and believe I've had that. Because I started to do something different by speaking up and opening up my mouth and speaking the truth. And some people don't want to hear that.
No, some people don't want to hear that.
So, what are your thoughts on doubt and criticism once people decide to get their lives together and do something a little different?
Well, my thing on doubt is, yes, a lot of people doubt, but my thing on it, you got to realize who you serve. And not only realize who you serve, you got to believe in who you serve. And if you're believing in a God that you say that you're believing in, He is a God that has not failed us yet. He never will. He never left us, so he would never fail us. And that's what I tell a lot of people. Yes, we have doubt, but you got to have belief, because if you never believe, I was just telling some people on yesterday, it's just like your vision. If you're always doubting, and you let people talk to you and put negative vibe on you, you're gonna doubt. But you got to reach down inside of you and know, if God gave you whatever He gave you, who were they to doubt? They doubted a lot of people, but He still performed. He still bring us through every day. A lot of people, we have ideas and goals and dreams and things that people may not see it, but what did God give you?
Yeah.
If God gave it to you, why should you doubt about it? Because if He did it for somebody else, He can do the same thing for you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You got to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe in you?
Mm. Yeah, that's so powerful that you said that, because a lot of times that's it. It's that self-doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you got to believe in yourself. And I tell, God was telling me, He said, tell the people, yes, whatever vision that I gave you, whatever dream that I gave you, even though it may not have came to pass yet, like He told Rebecca, He said, the vision is yet for a point of time. That's for all of us. Don't doubt it. Don't feel like, oh, I've gotten so old that it still cannot happen, because it can. It's just it has its appointed time to come.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It'll come. No matter our age, no matter what the circumstances or the situation, it still will come. But you got to believe in what God has placed in you.
Now, here's something too for the people out there that are listening. Maybe you're starting a business. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you've had this dream your entire life to do something extraordinary. Um, do you think a lot of people fail because they decide to give it up too soon? Speaking.
I think they do.
And then what I have seen happen, and it's even happened to myself several times. You tell somebody, your story, and that you dream, that you envision, and the people don't see it. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, what do you think this? Or how are you going to handle this? Or what about this? Sometimes it's the people that's so close to you. They're afraid to do it. They're afraid to do it themselves. So like I said before, sometimes people project their fears and their doubts and everything off on you. But because you are afraid to do it, that doesn't mean that I am.
Right.
And sometimes it could play with your mind and get you a little messed up and twisted. And then now here you are thinking and believing just like they are.
Yes. And so what I call that is, when we allow people to do that, and then they're gone, if we're left there, we're thinking of things that's it, and we stop. I call that self-sabotaging, because the simple fact, we stop. God never stopped. We stop. God has really placed in us. Yeah, you said the perfect thing. Just because they may have tried it and it didn't work for them, that don't mean for us to give up. We may have the key to unlock the lock to go through the door.
Hmm. Now, for those who are surrounded by a bunch of people who can't see what you see, sometimes it could be very exhausting because you're seeing it. And again, he gave you the vision, he didn't give it to everybody else. So you might have shared your story with somebody and you might have said a little bit too much too soon. And every time you turn around, it's just not working. You're feeling yourself feeling separated. You want to feel reserved. You may not want to go to the same places that you are. And the people around you are doing nothing but telling you how much you changed or you're not the same or you're different.
Yeah.
What type of advice do you have for somebody like that who might be in that situation? They might feel guilt that they are ready to level up and move past, their current surroundings.
Hey, I would tell a person in that situation is, first of all, get in your quiet place. Get in your quiet place, your secret place, and you get back praying and believing God for what He gave you. And you tell God to give you the strength to pick yourself back up and get back in the race. Don't look to the left or the right, and don't self-sabotage yourself and hold yourself back, but get back in the race and get that strength back from God and tell God, this time, God, lead and guide me. You be my lead and guide me into the direction that you want me to go in. Not what people are saying or not what anybody else is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But God, you lead me. You take the wheel.
God,
and I'll ride.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you said that piece. I have a question for you, a personal question. I was having this conversation with my daughter yesterday. Um, what you say, get into your quiet place. I love to be in my quiet place. I love to spend a lot of time with self after so many years of not being able to. I had so much noise going on, work, job, kids, this, that, house, all kinds of stuff, friends, foes, whatever, phone ringing. I have been in high profile positions and it just would not stop. And then on top of that, I have something in me that constantly wants to work, and I have to tell myself, all right, shut it off now, shut it off now, shut it off now. So fast forward, I get to a point where I had a breakthrough, spiritual breakthrough, and I'm enjoying this piece being myself. But a lot of people don't like that. And I might have been told that I'm spending a little bit too much time by myself.
Wow.
What advice do you have when it comes to that?
No, you keep spending your time to yourself because you got to realize you got to have that me time. So you keep spending your time with yourself and getting that quiet time, getting that quiet place because that's where you're going to hear God. He said in the secret places of the Most High, the Spirit abides. And then he said, seek me while I may be found. That's the time you're going to find him, is in your quiet time. And that's the time he's going to speak to you and give you your instruction, give you your direction. Because a lot of times when we got so much that's going on and we don't have that quiet time, we can't hear him. We can't get the directions that we need. We can't get the instructions that we need from him because we got so much going on. So we got to make time and get in that quiet time with him and spend. I was just telling the people the other night, hey, increase your time. If your time is 10 minutes, hey, increase it to 20 because you're going to need that time because, see, a lot of times we get in our secret place and we tell God what we want, but we never lay there or sit there or kneel there long enough to hear the instruction or the direction that he wants to give us. So we need to increase our time with him, that secret time with him, so that he can give us the plan, the direction that we won't go the wrong way. and we'll know and we'll hear his voice clearly because he's coming directly to us.
There was so much.
So that quiet time is important.
So there's no such thing as too much quiet time.
No such thing as too much quiet time.
Okay. I like when you said sometimes we don't hear because we don't sit there, we don't kneel there, we don't lay there long enough to hear.
Yeah.
Sit there, kneel there, lay there. Some people think that when you pray, it has to be over the top. I don't know if you feel this way, over the top, dramatic. Um, Sometimes it's just sitting in peace. I had a friend that said, Laren, sometimes I just lay there. I lay down. I lay down. So I was like, okay. So when I heard you say that, it made sense to me. Sit, kneel, lay. Do whatever you got to do that works for you.
Do whatever you got to do.
So
if you could be riding in your car, no music, but just do whatever you got to do to give him that time.
Real talk. Profit pool. So let everyone know where they can follow you at, how you come to where you are here today, whatever you want us to know, where we can get in touch with you. I know we just went right in. We didn't even do a formal introduction. So before we move on, if we can spend time for that.
Yes, they can follow me on Facebook, Raymond Cool, or you can go to the ministry, which is Destiny Word Christian Center of Atlanta, or you can follow me on IG, which is rpool08, or you can follow me on YouTube, which is Destiny Word Christian Center of Atlanta, or you can follow me on TikTok, which is Raymond Pool. And our ministry, Destiny Word Christian Center at Gmail. Those are the ways that you can follow me and get in contact with me.
Now, I didn't know you were on TikTok, and we like to do little jokes here. Now, I have seen some pastors, prophets. I've seen them, dancing and carrying on TikTok. Are we going to get that on yours? I have to take a look. I didn't know you were on TikTok.
No, I haven't done any of that. I've just been keeping it basic, keeping it real, just posting and ministering to the people. I just now reached. I was trying to reach a goal of 1,000 people so that I could go live. So now I'll begin to. I got the 1,000, so they'll start seeing me live on TikTok.
All right. And what is the handle name again for TikTok?
Raymond Pool.
Raymond Pool. Okay. All right, y'all. Go ahead and follow on TikTok. So now you said you weren't dancing, but now is that something that we're gonna get in the future?
Oh, we're gonna get a lot in the future. We're gonna get a lot of dancing. We're gonna get a lot of services that I'll be in, and you're gonna get a lot of lives, and you're gonna get a lot of what God wants you to do. I'm gonna be doing a lot on TikTok. And, I'm helping people. My motto is that God's people get everything that God has in store for them. That is I love to see God's people receive what He has for them. Not what I have or not what nobody. I love to see what God has for His people because it's Him that gives it to us.
Mm-hmm. Now, I see you do a lot of Instagram lives. How does that come about?
It came about. I had a pastor about a year ago called me and wanted me, during the pandemic, wanted me to do a 2-night revival for her. That's how my lives began, and it went from there. And they have been getting better and better and better every time. A lot of people, they come on my lives A lot of people testify, and now I'm doing something different on my Instagram Live. I'm doing a real talk with the prophet, dealing with real life situation, real life testimony of what God is doing for a lot of people, because He said in His Word, we're overcomers by the words of our testimony. I'm not the only one that has the testimony. All of us have a testimony. Everybody there's somebody out there that's dealing with what you have came through, and somebody needs to hear it to know how God brought you through. Not that God gonna bring them through the same way, but to let them know you don't have to give up.
Absolutely.
There is still
a
way.
So people come on and they share their story, and then you give them a word behind it.
Yes.
Okay. And now, when would be the next one? Is there a specific schedule, or is it whenever the Spirit moves you to?
It's whenever the Spirit leads me. I normally, I used to come on 3 times a day. Yes, I used to come on my way to work early in the morning. Then I used to come on twice in the evening. But I'm getting ready to put a structure together, because a lot of people have been contacting me, want me to help them walk in their ministries and walk in the fullness of their ministry. So I'm putting a lot of things together, myself and my wife. I'm not just a prophet. I'm a master life coach also, and she's a mental health coach also. And we do a lot of different things. Plus, I still have a full-time job at Amazon, and my wife still has her full-time job. She's a nurse.
Okay. How long has your ministry been about?
I've been ministering for 30 plus years.
Okay. And do you have a website or anywhere people can get in touch with you? People who want to, have you as a life coach. People who want help, with mental illness, things like that. Is there a specific website, or is it better to get in touch?
They can go on any platform that I mentioned. You're going to reach myself or my wife, especially the Destiny Word Christian Center of Atlanta. You can leave it on there. There's a place on there. But yeah, any platform, because we've been posting a lot on all the platforms to let people know how to get in contact with us.
Okay. Everyone, thank you all for joining. If you're out there listening, we have Prophet Poole all the way from Atlanta, Georgia tonight. I'm just asking random questions, and he's giving us some wisdom and knowledge here tonight. So I don't know if you've been experiencing it, but a couple people who I've been in contact with and in my circle, they've noticed that things are a little different. Of course, everyone is experiencing this. If you just open up and look and see around you, a lot of things are being posted on the internet. Just some weird things are happening. We're in some weird times, if I can say it like that. And there's talks of things that may be coming in the future. More pandemics, more things that are going to instill a bunch of fear into people. They just say that it's coming. You better be prepared. You got to stay awake. You got to keep your eyes open. And with that being said, what are your thoughts on the climate of the world today? The disastrous weather that we got going on. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, my thing is for the people to stay focused. Even though I feel that God is warning His people, but I feel that God is trying to get the church back into a position of old and trusting and believing in Him. I feel that there's nothing that God is not going to bring us through if we totally trust and believe in Him. I feel that God will still move. He still moved during the pandemic. So if he can move during the pandemic, what makes us feel like he's going to stop and fail now? We just got to keep our eyes on the prize and stay focused on him. He's the main source.
Absolutely. Now, when people, it's easier said than done, right? So when people struggle, especially with mental illness during this time frame, because they feel that they just can't do it on their own, um, what type of advice, steps would you give someone who's struggling right now?
I would tell somebody that's struggling right now, find you somebody that's a mentor, a coach, something, a pastor, a apostle. Find you somebody that's going to walk with you, pray with you, and not only that, that's going to hold you accountable. You need to be accountable to somebody that's going to hold you accountable, even in your weak times, in your weak days. Because sometimes we do, people, we're human. So we're going to fall weak. We're going to get weak sometimes. But have somebody that's going to pick you back up and walk with you and pray with you and even fast with you and talk with you. Sometimes you just need somebody just to listen and talk with you. You don't have to say anything back. You just need a listening ear.
Hmm. Every time you say something, I pick up another piece, and I'm like, I have to ask this question. I gotta ask that question. Um, I love this here. You said somebody who will fast with you. So, can you talk to me about the power of fasting? I've heard about it. I've read it in the Bible. I've heard people doing it. I have never done it myself. Can you give me a little bit of information on the power of fasting?
The power of fasting, when you look in the Bible says some people, we've heard so many different things of how people been delivered, and we want to run people to the church and run people to this deliverance service and run people to that deliverance service. But the Bible gave us specific instructions for some of us not going to get delivered in the church. He said some only come out through fasting and praying. You can get delivered right in your very own house.
Absolutely.
Through just fasting and praying.
Mm-hmm.
Spending time with God by yourself. It don't always take a deliverance service to get delivered. God can deliver you right in your own sanctuary, which is your own home.
I agree with that. Some people think that from what they see in someone else, someone having a Holy Spirit, someone falling out on the floor, running around the church. Some people, if they don't experience that, then they feel that it hasn't happened to them.
No, you can get you don't fasting and praying. He said he gave a specific word. His word. Some only come out through fasting and praying. And that's what I tell people. We got to get back to letting God be God Himself and get all our flesh and what been taught. Some of the things we've been taught wrong.
Mm.
We've been taught wrong. So when you've been taught wrong, you do wrong.
Yeah, and the best way to get past all of that is to increase your knowledge.
Increase your knowledge.
Get into the. I didn't go to any type of Sunday school at all. I really didn't grow up in a church at all, but something came over me and something said, pick up this book and start reading it. And I started with small little clips here or there. Sometimes they have the day by day planners that every day they'll give you a scripture. So I started by reading that small little piece. And then from there, I challenged myself. So you're going to go through and you're going to read everything. You're going to read everything that's on this page. And the next thing you know, you're going to go to the next page and so forth and so on. I continued to push myself. And then from there, taking time, I had to get myself what was it, the New Living version, so that I could read it a little bit better. But that's what I did to help myself. So, and then from there,
Hello?
yeah, you there? Can you hear me? I'm sitting here telling my story. She can't hear me. Are you there? Hmm. All right, let's try him again. And then we're going to do burning questions and get on up out of here. I thank you all for hanging out with us tonight.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
I was like, I don't know what happened. I started telling my story and the phone went out.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, what I was saying is I had a little day planner that sometimes day by day it gives you the different scriptures, for the day to
Mm-hmm.
keep you motivated. So what I did is I started there first, and then from there I took that and I went to the Bible and I started to read, more like an entire page or 2 or 3 pages until it started to sink in, and I got it that way. And I said I
Yeah.
had to get a different version. I had to get the what is it, the New Living. Uh, Hopefully, I got it right. New Living version
Yeah.
of the Bible, because
Yeah. Yeah.
when I tried the old school one, the one my grandmother gave me, I couldn't do it. It's
Yeah.
very hard for
A
me to
lot of people.
understand.
A lot of people. A lot of people have trouble with that the King James version. But I tell people you got to get whatever version is for you. I have many different versions. I have the New Living version. I have the Message version. I have the Amplified version because a lot of times I think in this day and time we try. Some of us as leaders we try to get too deep in
Mm,
that the people can't understand us. And
mm,
we need for the people to understand us in order for them to come out of what they're dealing with so that they can grasp what we're saying.
yeah. Well, don't get too deep because it seems like the younger generation, and I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying, uh, is very scary. It's very scary,
Yeah, yeah,
and
this younger generation,
they don't want to read anything. They don't want to look on anything except if it has to deal with their phone. Somebody says you can change the translation on a Bible app, so that's very interesting. Um, it's probably going
yeah.
to be all digital in the future.
Oh yeah,
I could just
yeah.
see it that way.
It's a lot coming out.
I could see them just talking in their phone, telling whatever app it is to tell me about this. Go to Psalms, whatever. Like, you'll not be paging through no Bible or looking through anything. It's just all going to be, I guess, recited to you, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense because if you notice how school is now, they don't even have to sign their names or even write.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was like, that's crazy. But we'll see. So I thank you for coming on again, everyone who's joining in.
Uh,
Uh,
I thank you for having me.
we have Prophet Pool all the way from Georgia in the building tonight, and we're getting ready to go into burning questions tonight. And the burning question that I have for you is, what is the last piece of wisdom that has recently helped you in your life?
Oh, the last piece of wisdom that really helped me in my life was I had a man of God just told me, the prophet, just be yourself, be real, and live real, and let people see the realness that's in you and see the light that's in you. And God will bring everything else into plan. And that's what I found myself doing, just being me,
Mm,
being real.
mm-hmm,
Because I tell people, if God didn't want us to enjoy ourselves down here, why would He give us all of this stuff? It's how we handle it. And I
mm-hmm,
tell people, yes, I'm a prophet, but I still love going to comedy shows. You still can't put me in a box because God won't
mm-hmm,
want us in a box.
mm-hmm,
He won't want us in a box. We still gotta live and enjoy ourselves. You still gotta laugh. You gotta do all of these things to enjoy yourself. Because if you was still in a box, what you gonna enjoy?
Absolutely. That real good information that you said there. Keep it real and be honest. And
Yes.
a lot of times in my life, I didn't keep it real. So today I keep it so real that I ask God, please show me this right away. Instead of me
Yes.
putting myself in a box, dumbing myself down, which is not keeping it real. Uh, the key word for me today is settling. And I tell myself every
Yes.
time somebody comes and walks across my path, today we are not settling. I'm not settling because all of the years that I settled, I wasn't able to be my true authentic self. So
Right.
it gets hard. Trust and believe this walk alone. Sometimes the walk alone gets a little lonely. It gets tough, but I have to
Mhm.
keep going because if I don't, I'll slip up and I'll end up wanting to settle. And I have to continue to
Yes.
speak myself out of that. Like,
Yes.
nah, if you go down this path, you're going to end up being exactly what you were years ago. And
Yes.
you come this far, you can't turn around now. It's going to be way different.
No.
Even if you try to turn around, it's going to be way different. So I have to make sure that I stay true to myself. So
Oh
when you
yes.
said that, be real and be true, and this is how I am being real and being true to who I am today by doing all of the things that I want to do in my life today and not settling. That's the key word for me. Just do not, whatever you do, don't settle. I don't care if it's a friendship, a relationship, it could be a job opportunity, it could be a business
Yeah.
opportunity. Whatever you do in this lifetime here today going forward, please don't settle.
No, don't settle.
We have a couple people out here that uh, Felicia Hillard, that's your wife, your beautiful wife. Is that
Mhm.
correct? Felicia Hillard?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Excuse me. I didn't mean to say that. Felicia Hillard's out there said, hey. Onyx
Tell her I said
Blade.
hello.
Onyx Blade says, catch you later. He's out of here. Good night. Thank you so much. Felicia can hear you out there. On that note, you want to go ahead and leave us with something tonight before we get out of here?
You said what now?
Would you like to leave us with something before we get out of here? A couple words before we leave?
I, I would just tell the people, stay on the path that God has put you on. And whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever it is that you're trying to do, don't let anybody put your fire out. Don't let anybody stop your goals, your dreams, nor your vision. Know that God can still perform it for you and do everything that you're asking Him to do. And just stand still and see the salvation of God while He brings you through it.
Absolutely. True words. We had some good conversation tonight. I appreciate you for coming on tonight, all the way from
You
Georgia.
know,
And
I thank you for having me.
next time you go on live, do we have any type of date, or is it going to be tomorrow?
But I'm just trying to get a lot of people to. I'm back in contact with you also and bring you on the Real Talk with the Prophet. That's what I'm trying to build, that people will see the realness of people and hear
Absolutely.
what God has done for them.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I guess the best way that y'all can go ahead and support and stay in tune is to make sure that you go ahead and follow on Instagram. That's the best way you can go ahead
Yeah,
and get,
follow me on Instagram. Like I said, I'm getting ready to go start live on TikTok also.
yeah, get those notifications. Make sure that make sure that you subscribe and get those notifications so that when it goes live, you're tapped in.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to be a part of your project, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye.
Mr. Flacco, how you doing out there? Thank you all for joining in tonight. That was Prophet Pool all the way from Georgia. And I saw the prophetess out there. So I made a mistake, spoke to him, but I clean everything up here. I just saw Prophet, Prophetess. So, anyway, thank you all so much for joining in tonight. Thank you, Facebook. If you're out there, I appreciate you. Instagram family, I've seen a bunch of y'all out there tonight. Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, D Live, Twitch, Daily Motion. If you would like to support the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, please go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms and go inside of Volume 1.5 Deliberation Remix Journal. It's a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. So when I look back to when I first started, for those of you who knew me when I first started to where I'm at here now, friends, old co-workers, whoever, it could be family members, there clearly is something totally different that has happened and that has changed and that has sparked inside of me. I always say it. The man that you see here today definitely was not the man that was here yesterday, last year, the year before. It was a breakthrough that happened, but it was small little tiny steps that helped me get to where I'm at here today. And it is all based around working towards a healthier mindset. It ain't easy, and it definitely does not happen overnight. And all I'm trying to do is just share a little bit about my past. So you're going to get some of the ugly. You're going to get some of the good too, of course. But I definitely have to go ahead and give you the ugly so that we can understand the beauty behind it. So there's two sides of this thing here. You can't have good without bad and vice versa. You got too much bad, then you're going to have too much good. It has to be this nice, even balance. So I'm just sharing you a little bit about my past, telling you right where I'm at here, right here today in my world. And then also, I spoke to y'all earlier about settling. I'm in no point to where I'm going to settle anything in my life. So I start to write and speak some positive affirmation about where I'm going in this world. So I'll leave it open for you to do the same exact thing. So this is a remix journal for you to go ahead and write some positive affirmations and put your thoughts down and put your destiny down, your dreams, whatever you want to do. 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. Click that link above all of my social media platforms and support if you can. Other than that, listen, people who come through, whether they say hi, they hit that heart, they comment, they share, they tag a friend. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for whatever you can do. And on that note, I will see you when I see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe we go on to Philly tomorrow. We have, well, I make sure I got this right, Willie Beagle coming in tonight, tomorrow night. I believe we going to Philly tomorrow. So on that note, I'll see y'all 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 411 Podcast. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. Take care. Something to say podcast. How you doing?